It's in the way. Manage settings. Discard. Go back on in. Hey, guys. I jumped on Instagram. Everybody is live on Instagram. Emily B and them, Tamar and Fantasia, Portia and Candace. They ain't talk about nothing. I'm listening. I want to see what Emily. I want to see if Emily and her daughter was going to talk about me.
She's single, and it's late at night, and y'all been you say good night, and you get back up for a snack, and you looking like
What are they even
in
doing?
the kitchen for a snack.
If I know he's in the kitchen, I'll come in the kitchen like this.
Girl,
Because
fire.
if he wants this, he needs to make it play before I.
Candace and Tamar ain't talking about nothing. I'm not talking about nothing yet. They're talking about them. Fantasia and Tamar ain't talking about nothing.
What we do is fight different. You show up, glow up, you look good, they see you. I told my husband, honey, if you was to ever leave me, you're going to see me on everything. I'll be on cereal box.
Yes, it's called hunting. I'm going to hunt you. Praise God. For the rest of your days.
All right, guys. Is it the first?
So, Jacob, answer my question.
Oh, why didn't you add me to that? Because I keep
thing
jumping
I've
out of
done
it.
is-
Request to join. I keep requesting to join. Thank you for the share.
Okay,
Thank you for the likes. Hey, guys.
Yes.
We reading these lives on
So, I
Instagram.
have
Did y'all
my
see him on
friend.
Instagram Live?
So the dude I was messing with, he didn't answer the phone. So, like that wasn't usual for him at that moment. So I had my friend drive like 45 minutes to his house to like go to his apartment. He was talking to somebody else. That's the craziest thing I've done.
I have a question for you.
Oh, my God.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Jacob. Okay. Let me see. On Sisters, Calvin revealed that he's not gay, but he likes a little fun play. Do you think men should be able to explore sexually in that type of way?
Oh my God. The nerve of them to ask that question.
I mean, that's more so up to the girl. Like, they
It's a
wanna
bunch
do
of
that.
people.
I mean,
11,000 people.
that's not my cup of tea, but
I wonder
like,
why.
I was about to say, I don't like doing that. So I
I
can't
mean,
see.
to each his own.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. Instagram got better filters.
Okay.
TikTok got some trash. Look at this. This is barely giving anything.
Wild.
Okay.
Are they on live?
Okay.
What else? Can we add Asian?
Emily and them. I thought they might be talking about
What
me.
is some deal breaker when it comes to relationships, friendships, anything? What is the deal breaker?
I'm waiting for them to add me on in.
Friends or something. For me, I don't know, like, if you lie to friendship, nothing that you say ever, then why, like, and I can't trust you, then we don't need to be friends. What?
A deal breaker in a friendship?
Let me tell you something. What you call it?
A deal breaker in a friendship?
Yeah.
I'm guessing she did that like that because as I'm watching this, she trying to do like a Carisha please. She want to be the next Carisha, but she don't have nothing to say.
I think.
And that's why it's 10,000 people in here, and it's only 2,000 people at
A deal breaker in a
Tamar's,
friendship
and
is, I don't like lying.
750 over at
I do not like lying.
Candace
Okay,
and
I'm working
Portia.
on that.
They waiting for something, and that's nothing. What if they add me to the live and I'm sitting there reading them down? I don't do that.
Hello. Y'all see right now for Sisters is on right now.
It's right on right now.
On BET.
And this is all for sisters. Tyler Perry got all these people in the bag. He sent me a bag. I'll be on here talking about sisters too.
I ain't got cable.
Send me the bag, Tyler. I'll promote the show.
I ain't got cable.
Then I'll say some shit like that.
She got engaged to her first boyfriend ever. So she had a boyfriend who was 18, and it didn't work out. She ended up getting married. She was married and with her husband for about a decade, 10 years. And then she doubled back and went back to her ex when she was 18, and they only.
I'm waiting for them to say Locale 88.
Shut up, girl.
Did you see that video on TikTok?
There it is.
She got a nice ring.
So Terry,
I don't know who these people are.
in relationship. I told the story about
Charity.
Sending me the 40-40. Where you at? I can't hear you.
Well, a deal breaker for me is what I've experienced with
I
what
don't
you
know.
experienced with me, a baby.
Oh yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. Paternity. Like, that's probably like the hardest thing.
I don't know where Fab go. I don't know where Emily go if they break
When you
up.
have children with someone and that bond you have, and your children, your family, and then for them to go outside of that and start a family with someone else, that's definitely that's a tough one. Yeah, especially while y'all are still together now. That's
Let me tell you this: if a man got a baby on you, I could pull from their topics and create my own thing. A man, he's gone. Why he leaving? How many people can you get on an Instagram live?
He's watching The Color Purple.
Not The Color Purple. If a man have a baby on you, y'all was never together, and that's just that on that.
Like I should have watched. I didn't watch.
Y'all was never together. I'm gonna do a video. If it's something like, if he will, if he has, if he don't, then he won't. And if he's not, then he isn't. And if he hasn't, then he's not gonna. And a lot of people have said it. Maybe you might feel it differently coming from me. But could you imagine being with somebody, and then the baby, and then you want to keep dating me? What? Emily, just add me on in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I think that's just.
I'm gonna be so geeked if they add me in here.
All three of us who are very grounded in the Lord. We came from good,
I'm not grounded in the
our
Lord.
Parents are very, influential in our lives. I think that you think that.
And if he
everyone's
wanted
raised like
to,
you, so you
he
want
wouldn't.
them to
If he
have the same
didn't,
values as
he
you,
wouldn't.
You want them to think the same, and that's not always the case.
Just me eating, sorry.
Eden is out on the veranda,
We're watching this on BBC. What, you outside?
right?
Mm-hmm. Eating Panda Express.
Eating Panda Express. It don't matter how much money you got.
I have a question for Charity. What's the craziest thing a man has done to make you stay?
And everybody's asking the same question. So everybody's on the same agenda across all sectors. This is like Love and Hip Hop. We got Atlanta Housewives, and then we got the songstresses, and they're all asking the same questions. Tyler's doing a lot to promote the show. I thought the people was watching, sisters. Sometimes you ain't got to promote so hard. They don't do all this shit for Queen Sugar, and I love this Queen Sugar.
I mean, I remember one time, one time he was in LA, thinking he was going to run it up.
What's the craziest thing a man has ever done to make you to stay? So they don't do too many crazy things. Maybe call the phone and stuff like that. But I don't need no production. I don't lay the groundwork or the foundation or set the stage for behavior like that.
You just have to find
That's why I'm single.
a happy medium. I think that when you have your own, and you have your own focus, it makes
She keeps saying that.
Okay, wait, Mom.
What?
Would you sacrifice your career for your relationship if your man asked you?
No.
Yeah,
If your man asks you to sacrifice, I wish I could pause this stuff. If your man asks you to sacrifice your career, you're with the wrong man. Everybody want to be like Beyonce and Jay-Z. Don't have either type of relationship. They don't have no type of standing to be even qualified to be a Beyonce or a Jay-Z or Remy Ma or a DePape, who don't have no qualifications. People need to be out here wanting to be like Martin and Gina. They was friends. They both had they had careers. They had great friends around them. That's the standard that black people need to be. Even Heathcliff and Claire, people don't even have the qualifications to be them. And that's the upper echelon of what people, black people can do, what black people can be. But the simple standard that everybody can do, Please, that's all I'm capable of is a phone call. You doing anything else? I mean, you liable to be more foolish, and then you're gonna be more mad at me because I'm not even gonna be giving you the energy that you're looking for. I done cried in your phone, and I done blowed up your. Listen, now you got slipped. No, I can't say that on TikTok. And then you're gonna be blaming me. But yes, Martin and Gina is the standard. Working people, goal oriented, with the love for each other, and they're friends, sitting laughing and carrying on. If I can't get my head stuck in a headboard and laugh about it with you, then I can't be with you. And if your man or your woman asks you to sacrifice, unless no, because if you in your career, they should never want you to sacrifice. They should never want you. They should never want to compromise that happiness, unless they can level that up. Like Tracy Ellis Ross said, I'm gonna do that sound soon. I think when I get up in the gigs, I'm gonna do that sound. But she said, I have a lot of lovers. I have a lot of lovers, and I have them, I take them, and then I tell them goodbye. I'm gonna do that because that's what it is. And then she said something like, I'm open to a relationship that makes my life better. I'm not open to a relationship just for the sake of being somebody saying, oh, I'm going over there to eat, or I've got somebody to screw. No, if it adds quality to my life, yeah, I'm open to that. Like somebody said to me too, it's either your way or the highway. I said, listen, I'm open to construction, but I'm just not breaking down the roads for no reason, just because somebody want to slide through this easy route. Judith Smith, welcome, honey. Happy to have you. Listen, okay? If you're not gonna be there to support me ringside and my face looking crazy, I don't want it.
She's gonna sit back and let it happen because she's getting taken care of. It's just a different. It is. It's different. They can't. Y'all think that's true?
See, men can't handle a woman with more than them. That's the thing, and I think in my common thread of continuously encouraging women, you have to fault women for giving, and that's the thing about dogs. It's just because it's trainable. When I had this idea, I was like, what other animal can you train? Like you train a dog. You could train a monkey, but that's a bad reference. You can train a cat, but they still stubborn. Horses, but they only do a certain amount of things. A dog is perfect. A dog is going to open up the door. A dog can bring in your groceries. That's why dog is man's best friend, because he's most like your man or your woman. Lay in the bed with you with a certain type of way, bring you the remote, you know what I'm saying? Even bring you a fucking beverage out the fridge. You could teach a dog to do those things. And if you teach a dog to only underperform, she's always gonna underperform. He's never gonna be pushed to do something else better, to be better, aspire to be. What did I see? Push the man, be better, underperform. Oh, what did I see? You got to train him. Listen. And that's the thing too. Easy to dating girls. He's used to dating girls that are easy. Let me just talk to the girls. 96% of my following is women. So let me talk to women. I be trying to talk to everybody, but I do got something to say for everybody. But let me be direct. If he's used to talking to women, doing the least, especially if he's handsome, especially if he has the money. Sheena, hey, welcome. If he has the things that women will flock to, that women will sacrifice themselves. Let me turn this because they're not talking about a damn thing. I got my own thing going here. Women will sacrifice themselves to be with him. He'll never be the next thing. He'll always be that thing until he meets somebody, and he'd have to meet several somebodies that push him. Well, that's what I was going to say. I think maybe a TikTok video. The girl, she asked her uncle or something like that, or maybe she asked her dad or somebody, some man in her family. She asked. She was like, "Did you always love my mother or my auntie?" Some shit like that. He was like, "No." Was she the love of your life? And he was like, "No, she wasn't the love of my life. But I stayed with her all the years because she pushed me. She pushed me to be better. She never let me just be basic. She was always in my corner, encouraging me. She was always on my ass to be." I didn't like the fact that he said it wasn't the love of her life. I don't think no man, that's the thing too. And that's why you got to find the right man. But, man wants to be berated. But if you see the potential, it's no point. I always said this too. No doctor just wakes up. Now, some too, that's nepotism. But doctors put in the effort, the time. Y'all watch Grey's Anatomy? They put in the time, the studying, the work, the hours to become doctors. It's not an overnight thing. You have to push. You have to strive. You have to want to be. You have to be open to, And a lot of times people just find coasting by. You wonder why? Because they're encouraged, coddled to coast on by. And that's the thing with Tasha Mack. Not Tasha Mack. What was Tasha Ghost? St. Patrick. Tasha St. Patrick. She just wanted him to be just some dope boy. Not even recognizing he dressing different, houses different, but she just wanted, she never pushed Ghost to be elevated. She was fine with his just baseline drug slinging, bringing the money home, keep the rent paid type thing, and that is why he cheated on her. Maybe he did love Tasha, but he realized that Tasha didn't love who he was becoming. And he was becoming different things because of the women that he was involving himself with. James St. Patrick wasn't a bad person in that, in my opinion, in that situation. Tasha was looking for dope boys. And that's, and if that's your thing, that's fine. And that's what I'm saying. I talk because it goes both ways. You should at least want your dope boy to get the hell up off the corner. You should at least want your dope boy to at least be able to, take a weekend and still get the money. Because if you're not doing that, we nickel and diamond. We ain't better than nobody. How do you level it all up? Are you open to the encouragement to level up? And very oftentimes, men aren't. But at the same time, there are women that will support the man for being basic. Basic. And then men cheat. Because some girl, I'm with them and he, flares. I don't care about you in your shorts, and I don't care about your J's, and I know what your breath smells like in the morning. So all that, the glitz is dulled out. And then he goes out somewhere and some girl's like, "Ooh, your sneakers are cute," because she's whatever. So he screws her because his ego is stroked. You leave a man because he got a weak ego. I'll tell you that. Because if you can't encourage him, if you don't see what you're trying to do for him, and obviously in the best of interest, then I don't even understand what you're in that relationship for. People are really in relationships just to have sex. People are really in relationships because they just want somebody to come home. Then that's the work you have to do on your own. And I said this, my first time being celibate, sexless for a year, I was like, there has to be some type of spiritual gain out of this. There has to be a benefit to me not getting, obviously, the obvious pleasures of linking up, hooking up, or whatever. I didn't get it at the time. I've done it again. And I absolutely fucking get it. I absolutely get it. First of all, sex, even good sex, I gained self-awareness and appreciation, and I gained some value for myself, and I understood the price, the cost in which it takes to even have me even in that type of headspace. Understand that. That is what I gained. I didn't get it the first time. No, I didn't, but I definitely get it, and that's kind of like the standard. The next one, let me tell you this, the next one that comes knocking on that door is going to be one hell of a somebody. I tell you that very much so right now. Because that's what I learned. the second time, and the third time, and the third time around. Because you give, and especially if you were the one providing, you done cleaned up, you done cleaned the house, you done cleaned yourself, you done cleaned the room, you done cleaned the sheets, you did all these things, all this preparation for this 15 minutes of fame. Then you're not sure where he's going, you're not sure when he's calling, you're not sure when he's this, you're not sure when he's that. Then he only calls you when he's available to this, so you're waiting on a bated breath, and the fuck is that? What is that? What is that? Want better, do better. The sacrifice of carnal desires only empowers you spiritually, emotionally, physically. And then you have to channel that energy, which all of this is a lot easier said than done. Like I said, I didn't get it the first time, okay? But you have to channel that energy into something else. I mean, there's always something else to do, whether you like to garden, whether you like to draw, whether you have, how you got a side hustle. There's other places you time into your family, your children, your dogs, your pets. You have things. Why be one thing when you can be everything? And one of those things don't have to be dependent or waiting on no man to break. You want your back broke? Do we even break your back? Is TikTok going to get me? Probably. I don't know. I don't care. But I just had to come on and say that since they over there talk about what they talk about. I'll share all the way down. Over there on Sisters. But yeah, that I definitely had been thinking about that anyway. So that's interesting that they're even talking about that stuff. But yeah, I find all that to be somebody, welcoming or putting up with things just because of convenience. Because it's a matter of convenience. I mean, and then what did you gain? And then people down in the comments, oh, women. And it's a mixed thing. But I hate to see the comments. There's lots of comments in the Chrissy video. Shout out to you if you've seen me from the Chrissy video. But I love the comments where, I love her anyway. Chrissy always been my girl. I don't got no problem. You get it how you live. Do whatever. She came out on top. But I hate to see a woman in the comments talk about, oh, this is why he didn't marry her. And which would really chap my ass is that if she was a married woman. Because now people are using marriage as a pawn. You think you better than me because you got a ring? Girl, I will. Your man. Quicker than he put that ring on your finger. How dare you look down on me? How dare you? The money, sure. It ain't even about the money. And that's the thing. At no point, relationships were established for protection. While women were doing whatever they were doing, the man was maybe hunting and gathered, but I'm sure women do that. We have to look at what the fuck, we have to look to nature to understand the real dynamics of what relationships should be. No, we're not animalistic, but we could be. But no, we don't walk on fours. We don't have manes and piss in the grass. But the fundamental foundation of the way a relationship works is the same. Most whales in the ocean, females run the ship. Yeah, elephants, females run it. Lions, females run it. Men are simply there for breeding purposes, if you so choose, and protection, if it even comes to that. At no point do I need to be giving so much for you to just do the basic things. And if money is the issue, why are you even talking to somebody who, let's say, doesn't even have the money? And if you have your own money, then you're not hell-bent on being with somebody who has the money. The people with the comments, I can't with the comments, oh, this is why he didn't marry. It's so distasteful. It's tragic that a woman would say that about another. This is why he didn't marry her, because she, lived her life, got a bag, and did what she needed to do for her. She wasn't doing it for nobody else. She didn't have 4 or 5 kids running around. She wasn't neglecting nobody else. She wasn't running, leaving somebody with other family members. She was doing what she had to do for her. She lived the life. She played the hand that was dealt to her. like many girls from the city do, like many girls in many places do. And over here in America, you have the option to do that. Nobody's selling you off to somebody else, and there's no marriage of convenience or marriage of business or marriage arrangements. There's none of that. So you have the option, especially if you don't burden yourself with kids. That's another topic for another time. But so that's the thing. And as far as Chrissy asking him to marry her, it's for the show. I do, and I get it, and I know, and this is one of my pillars of my channel, is that what you see on TV is fake. Especially when it comes to reality television. It's fake. And if we base the show on Chrissy and Jimmy, who don't have no plans on being anything standard or following any type of relationship mold or goal, because don't no girls do like Jimmy, don't no girls live their life like Chrissy, raised like Chrissy, from Harlem, getting it how they got it like Chrissy, running with the guys Chrissy. Don't no girls do nothing like that. Don't no guys like Jimmy, got talent like Jimmy, come from the same area like Jimmy, got the same parents like Jimmy. So for them to get on TV and be them would not be relatable content. And when they sat and talked to Mona, when Mona dragged their asses into a boardroom and said, "Let's get this show. Y'all will make this money. This is what we need you to do." And like I said on a live prior to that, I said, Chrissy got down on that knee in a humblance of herself to edify Jimmy, because he had already taken such heat from even entertaining the relationship at that point, and they're still together. And what I appreciate in the comments of that same video is people saying, hey, they've been together 18 years. People get married, don't make it 3. Cynthia's ass, I mean, she really should have paid Mike, because at the end of the day, she should have never married Mike. Did y'all not watch the same show I watched? Did y'all not see the same people on Atlanta Housewives I saw? I don't even know why she did that. I don't know what she stood to gain. But like I said too, another one of my pillars is that when people do things, especially when they get married and when they get divorced, something's working. You know what I'm saying? They need the unity, just like when Nene remarried Greg. She got back on the show. Tia and Corey. When Nene got back on the show. When Lala divorced Carmelo, she was on Empire. When she was on Power. When Kim divorced Kanye, she got Skims, Beats, lots of other things, and now this whole whatever this pivot she's in the midst of right now. You know what I'm saying? People do things. Cynthia got with fucking Hill and moved out to LA, got on the shows, and now she's divorcing him, and I'm sure something else will happen, will come of that. Because why did you even waste why did you waste my time marrying a man I knew you didn't have no business being with? Hopefully they don't suspend me, but I'm just being honest. Have no business being with. No business. It's somebody like Cynthia, and that's the thing. People like Cynthia, people like Nene, people like Khloe Kardashian could easily set a standard for single women doing a Lori Harvey type thing because they have the ability. They have the ability. Nene's kids grown, Cynthia's kids grown, Khloe got help out the wazoo, But let me live my life. And that's the double standard. It's millions of single men out here not being pressured to get married out here with a new girl every night, every other night, every weekend, or whatever they do it. And nobody says anything. But the second a woman does it, it's a problem. I thought about this the other day too. I said, now, if 5 girlfriends all screw the same guy, are they all hoes, or is that guy the hoe? How does that go? And Tia and Corey, she's in the midst of a pivot now too. I've never seen Tamara was on The Real for 7 years. I think they did 7 to 6 years. Never seen her in so much publicity on shows, branding this, marketing that. Never seen her do anything like this. Now they're everywhere. Tia, I've said this before, Tia out at the Leaning, where is Giza? Where the Leaning Tower of Pisa is, whatever that is. Never seen her outside the States. Now you out and about doing the things, and that's fine. But I don't want to be wrapped up in the mess or the rules of a relationship. Because like I said, I mean, me coming up, my standard of relationship was Will and Jada. Standard, okay? They was great. He leaned into her. They were a handsome couple, successful, black. Flipped me on my head this year, okay? Tori and Tia and Corey, a great example for relationship, young, successful, black. Flipped me on my head this year. Situationships only. Who said he hasn't been faithful to anyone he's ever been with? What you call it? Hill, right? Because did we not know that? Did the friends not say that to Cynthia when she went to LA and was with them people in his house? And them girls in that house was looking at her like. So I don't have it for Cynthia. I don't have it for Cynthia. Because she knew better. You want to know how she knew better? Because I knew better. I don't get it. But if you got to marry somebody, if that's the game, if that's the business, you with somebody, marrying somebody, and then you go on to the next thing, that's fine. But all of this, then, like with Corey, people want to badmouth Corey. I'm willing to bet you it's Tia's ass. I'm willing to bet you it's Tia. Tia's like, okay, we reached the limit on that. You know, I got my cooking shows, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do a new thing. I'm sitting at these tables and they want to make something happen. And, you know, I'm about to move on to the next thing. And the kids is older, you know what I mean? So you ready. You set right. And that Corey's set. Corey's good. Corey, and that's the hype. People don't even take it into consideration the real thing. The real thing. Corey been working. Corey stay working. Corey got residual checks that keep him he could pay for that beautiful home that they got probably by himself. That's why I thought they was good too. They both working. Everybody got some money. You know what I'm saying? They got a good balance. She got high energy. He's low. He's even keeled. You know what I'm saying? But no, a shit show. Kendra and Jock. Who's Kendra? Who is Kendra and Jock? I don't care about nobody. I don't care about nobody. Hip hop, fake. Only people I think is real is Kirk and Rashida. And that's a matter of business, but I think they are attracted to each other, and they work it out the way that they work it out. But I don't care about anything about none of that. No, not one thing about money, because Corey got money. Corey not about to be broke because Tia's not there anymore. That's not the situation at all. And that's the thing, people get behind the narratives, just like I'm saying with the whole Chrissy thing. Well, that's why he didn't marry her, because she didn't care about. What about Erica and Safari? What about it? A mess. And they probably just wanted kids, have beautiful kids. I'm still waiting for Safari to drop that toy he's been talking about dropping on a Valentine's Day for about 4 or 5 Valentine's Days now. That's all I care about with Safari. Fake front, and Erica knew better, because at the end of the day, Nicki Minaj told us Safari was a clown. Don't be confused by the clown ship now. So, you know what I mean? She knew exactly what she was getting into. And Safari, the only man that's going to marry her. A la Chrissy. But, well, at least she got married. But I say a la in the sense that Erica has a big past too. Fat Joe, Big Pun, all that. She was talking around the way girl. That's where Erica comes from. She wasn't going to get nobody else of recognition. She said this Bow Wow thing ain't going to last either, because a couple years down the line, Orlando Bloom going to come out and talk about Bow Wow got good pussy. What do you think that would do for Erica's brand if another man come out and talk about Bow Wow got good pussy and she's sitting there married to the man? So Safari was the next best thing. And however those stars aligned for him to leverage his hype manship with Nicki Minaj, relationship hype manship, right, all of that to be on Love and Hip Hop, you know, that's just what it is. That's what Love and Hip Hop did. That's what Mona did. She picked the people that were seated in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like Safari probably seemed like a clown to everybody, but was a part of things. You know what I'm saying? He was in the number. He just wasn't somebody they picked up on the corner. He was involved. She ain't having no kids with Rich. Rich is a mess. But that's the thing too. Rich ain't out here marrying people. I don't think he married. What's her name? Malaysia? Not Malaysia. Whatever. Her crazy ass. But she just as confused too. And I love it hip hop. It's all everything you see in Love and Hip Hop, fake, fallacy, falsehoods. Okay, every single thing, every single thing. And that's just that. And but if you want to, if you find your excitement in it, you find your excitement. I'm not saying don't find your excitement in it, but honey, don't you believe nothing? Half of what you see, none of what you hear, none of what you see, half of nothing that you hear. Hey, your black is golden. You can't think it's what she doing. Overplaying who she was. And actually, well, that's because she knew who she was. At the end of the day, she probably was the oldest on the set. She older than Jimmy. She older than the rest of them. They all younger than Jimmy. So yeah, she knew exactly what she was doing, and that was probably the best thing for her at the time. And that's how they created this whole show. Created a whole movement. And obviously, she knew the game. She ran with people who knew the game. She worked the game on people who knew the game. She knew the game. How can you? I don't think, and that's Chrissy's story. If it was prettier, and I would have presented it as it was, but I presented the story as it is, and I don't got one single problem with Chrissy. Okay, didn't do no, and I also didn't think 1.5 million people was gonna fucking look at it, and all these comments was gonna come on it. So I didn't do it for clickbait and recognition, all stuff like that. I did it because I did the Marjorie Harvey video, and Marjorie is the one. Somebody called her Lady Heroin? Child, I was I was laying down when I said Lady Heroin. I went back to sleep because that's one hell of a name. If they was out in the streets of Memphis, Tennessee, calling Marjorie Harvey Lady Heroin, I don't even. And that's this is. And now we're getting into the power to manipulate. With if you've seen it. Well, like what Kim is doing to Ray J and Brandy. If I'm gonna be coincidental about things, you talk about taking out the loose ends and the middleman. Listen, and when it comes to Marjorie, whoever she talked to, however she found her way to Steve, because she was married. Steve was married. They were both married, and they end up getting together. However that happened, for people to not even reference, for him to even feel comfortable enough to bring her to rooms and places, and maybe she is scoffed at when she walks into like a high class where people are like of good breed and things like that. Maybe she is. We don't know. Maybe she doesn't get into the rooms. Maybe Marlo gets into the rooms at Fashion Week easier than Marjorie Harvey does. But the fact that she's even paraded, she's the wife of Steve Harvey, who has his hands in all these pots, and he's this, that, and the third. When somebody could walk past her and say, "Hey, Lady Heroin," and she can't deny that. Like that's something. That's the game. That's the industry. And then somebody like Steve just wants somebody that's gonna, at least when it comes to the industry and men. I mean, that goes both ways for men and women. They want somebody on their arm that looks good. They want somebody on their arm that makes them look good. And if Steve been with all these unsuccessful marriages and thotting and bopping around town, and then Marjorie come and calm him down, they both look good in that moment. Now Steve writes a book. Then they start a charity. Now they got the daughter who's finding her way. Meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of other kids behind them. But most people only know about Marjorie. So that's that. Her being attractive is definitely a bonus. But if her and Chrissy, but if she, hey, New Eurekan, if she, I don't want to compare uglies, but, how they were raised would have lent themselves to have this trajectory, period. You know what I'm saying? But them being attractive is absolutely a benefit, a plus, the cherry on top. But these is go-getting women, obviously. Down in Memphis, Tennessee, and up in Harlem, New York, you thugging it up. You thugging it out. You getting it. Oh, you like me, and oh, you got the money, and oh, you're gonna teach me something, and oh, if I pay attention, if I pay close enough attention, I can do the same. It's gonna happen. Like I said, Marjorie's thing was her mother, and Chrissy's thing, everybody's saying, her father was in the drugs, and then, she met the people in the drugs in the streets. She got it. They got it. Some comments were supposed to protect the community experience. I just be wanting to know what the people. I protect my people. Either way, but yeah. I mean, that's just the facts. That's just how that goes. That's just how that goes. And people don't understand that because people grow up thinking, oh, you find a man and you do everything you have to do to keep that man, and then you marry that man, and then you suffer through that thing until you guys die, and you hope there's a insurance policy, and then you start all over. You be sitting there with 4 damn kids and no career and wondering what to do next. Then living resentful the whole time because you can't stand him. Kids get on your nerves, and all you wanted to do was pottery. Or maybe you wanted to sling a dang, not sling a, slang things. Maybe you wanted to do that, but you said, no, that's what men do. But there was never a woman to tell you that you could. Because a lot of women, mothers, grandmothers out here telling women, this is what you need to do. And they need to stop that. They need to stop that. Because you can't be the best woman you can be worrying about how a man is going to treat you or where you'll land with a man. That prohibits you from being the best person that you could be. Or if you like to be with a woman. But the thing is, that's the thing about lesbians, is that she's going to push you. She's going to be there. She's going to buy your stuff. She's going to buy your pottery. She's going to buy your drugs. She's going to tell people to buy your pottery and buy your drugs. She's going to push you because that's the female experience. And that's just like you ain't got to be screwing her. That's just like having a female best friend. If you got a good best friend, she's going to push you to do it. She's going to encourage you to be. A man just want to make sure is my dinner done? I'm feeling horny. Because that's what men do. But you might find you a good man who was raised by a good mother and a quality father. It's just like, what are your dreams and aspirations? If we don't have kids, what would you like to do? I mean, because I don't really want to have kids, and you don't want to have kids. So what are we going to do? You want to travel? Well, how do we do that? How do we make it work? How do we make the most of our experience together? I mean, how many times have you had that conversation with a man? And those are the conversations that need to be had. Because marriage is a sham. It's a scam and a sham. Okay? Marriage is a scam and a sham. Because if you want business, if you want equity, get an LLC. Put y'all up some money. Get y'all an LLC. And grow like that. It's like I said, because if you want to sport a ring to splash in somebody's face, girl, I will take your man faster than that man put the ring on your finger. Okay? Easily. So tell me what your ring meant. You know? And I'm not discrediting quality relationships and quality marriages. I'm not. I mean, I'm coming from all angles. I'm a Gemini. I see many things. But one of the main things, like I said in the comments, that's why from a man, all right, because that's the man thought. But for a woman to get down there and say, because Chrissy screwed men with money and got, you know what I'm saying, and just whatever, found it how she found it. She wasn't hell-bent on being, because if she wanted to be pregnant, I could just imagine how many Roe v. Wades she had, because she's like, I can't be tied to this. This is not what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because if she wanted to have kids, I'm sure she would have had kids. I'm sure she would have had kids at 15, 16, 17. After she got out of jail at 23. I'm sure she would have had kids then. She was in the process of something. And even if she wasn't in the process of something, she knew her situation wasn't set for children. And I think that's a realization too women need to come to. Sometimes just your situation don't call for children. And that's okay. Because kids come. You can get a kid. It's nothing. And I'm not saying that it's not, people don't have, I'm not, look, I hate talking down because then but somebody's going to come in and people always have something to say. Yes, people struggle to have kids, and maybe Chrissy was in a fight at a funeral and now she's barren. But like I said, if Chrissy wouldn't have kids, I'm sure with the men she was screwing, Chrissy would have been, she was pregnant along 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, until she got with Jimmy at 30 something. Late 20s, early 30s. I'm sure she had been slid down to the clinic a time or two. And I'm not allegedly, but you understand what I'm saying, because that's the type of life she was living. And because she was living that type of life, she said, I can't. First of all, I'm not going to be having a drug dealer's baby, because this is what people are going to look at me at. But if people know I'm out here slinging these drugs with him and busting people in their face, the people are going to respect me on a certain type of level. And that's the type of thing she was going for. She understood what she wanted. And that's because of her father. Probably her grandmother as well. Thank you so much for the rose. So we have to be sure we're encouraging our young ladies, maybe not to sell drugs, but to go after what you want. Because you get to work in people's minds at 5, from 5 to 15, your mind worked to think, oh, well, you just got to find you a man and he'll do the rest. Child, find a man and he'll do the rest. If that was the case, everybody would be married. Everybody would be in the situations. I wish that people wouldn't be in situationships. People would be in relationships, because men would be out here doing what is necessary to whatever, make that, whatever that is. But where does that leave space for, let's say, homosexual people? Where does that leave space for people who don't, asexual people? Where does that leave that space? Because all those types of rules have to apply to everybody. You know what I mean? Or if you don't find a man, not going to... You're right. I realize that about, like, religion. My friend is atheist, and he live his life, to find a job, his kids, great, to do his thing. He ain't worried about praising the Lord to get his whatever he needs to survive, and he don't look like he's stressing and you know what I mean? So the laws have to apply across the board, and when they become specific, that's when they become problematic. Little Miss Izzy, hello. You'd absolutely, as you get older, and that's the thing about people in some of the videos, like, if you live long enough, and that's the thing, the longer you live, the more you understand. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because then you look over to the left and you be like, oh, my girlfriend, or oh, my boyfriend over here, they don't have, they just dip it and do it. You know what I mean? No strings, no nothing. They live the life that they have, not trying to seek. You know what I'm saying? And that's sometimes how people find being carefree. That's the thing about energy and aura and things like that. Being carefree, opens you up to people who can, connect with you on that type of level. And that's the thing. You just have to admit that. Because, of course, like I said, people are out here in relationships. People are out here in marriages, and they find they work or whatever. But you also never know what they're going through behind closed doors. However they were raised to make things work is what it is. But, of course, there's absolutely positive, beneficial, mutually romantic relationships and marriages out here. But I think they come from people who are not like, oh, I gotta find me a man to do these things. Oh, I gotta find me a woman. And that's the thing too. And I think that's one of the things I'm seeing a lot on TikTok is that these women are growing up raising these kids, single parents. They have these sons, and sons think the mother got to work 3 jobs, be tired, make the dinner. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you're a single mother, and this is my I give a lot of advice. But if you're a single mother, you have a son, put his ass to work. Okay? The second he can, he should. The second he can, he should. And the same thing goes for the girls. Not that she need to lay back, because then she was looking for a boy to be like her brother. But everybody should be pulling their weight. Listen, we was washing dishes at 7, 8, 9, full routines, cleaning the kitchen. Saturdays, he's cleaning the house. I do have both parents, but that's, like as coming from seeing my parents' relationship, and then most of my, for 97% of my friends, and they're single parent households and things like that. Then as I've gotten older, seeing those things and then meshing that together because I have my own mind, that's what it is. Because they was playing, my parents was playing that, they had somebody to play, think off of, you know what I'm saying, or bring their own experiences to their parenting styles. Just like, we got a house, three kids, three kids. Then we have a fourth, but it came later. Welcome, my Miss Beauty, but he came later. I'm not gonna be the only one cleaning this house. My mother worked, my father worked. I'm not gonna be the only one cleaning this house. Get y'all asses up to clean this house. You wanna know why? Because y'all the ones making it dirty. Because if I'm out here as a single mother, if I'm out here busting my ass, I didn't make this mess in the kitchen and the living room. I didn't make the mess in your room, and I don't want a dirty house. Start with that. Secondly, the more you do now, the more you'll do later. Nobody who is raised cleaning grows up and don't clean. Now, people get raised in the church and grow up and don't go to church, but that's different. But nobody who was raised to clean grow up and don't clean. Don't nobody who was raised to fend for themselves, cook, and do those like the basic things around house, grow up and don't do those things. So the more you give them that responsibility of doing that, the better they'll be, and then you'll be looking for somebody to even out the load, not take completely over. You know what I'm saying? Not to replace. I need you to cook like my mother and do it. No. Because I know how to cook too. So if you can cook, that's a benefit. And I know I don't got to cook. That was my parents' thing. My father cooked on the weekends. My mother cooked during the week. And not to say that's definitely not the gold standard, but that was the dynamic. That was the parenting style. And you can't go having your son, and it's because for the lack of a man to put that pressure on your kid, because kids got to be kids. I have adapted after watching like Leah Remini's Scientology. I have adapted the idea that it's nice to baby a child. You got 5 years to give to baby a child. Just because they're cute, they don't know nothing, it's innocent. But 6 on up, honey, because you only closer to older than you are to younger, even at 6, okay? Let's get to it. So you can't, as opposed to them being a child and going out and playing, this is responsible, like I said, we cleaning, we establishing, the basic life skills here, you know what I'm saying? Pay attention to the stove when the eye is on. Don't open the door for nobody. Clean up after yourself. Put the lid down. Wipe the tub out. Things like that. You know what I mean? But no, it's like, let me just, because you feel sorry. Your kids don't know to feel sorry for you unless you feel sorry for yourself. Ashton, hello, welcome. Tawana, Nelson, hello. Every time I get on, I get the shakes. Hello in Baltimore. My stuffed chicken was delicious. It's so filling. I ate that earlier today, and I'm still full now. It's the cream cheese. But that's really the thing. A lot of mothers, single mother, this is my son, and that your son becomes your man, and then that's how he ends up growing up, running through women because he's just looking for somebody to be like you. Now that's the Oedipus complex or the Jocasta complex, like I said about Puffy's mother. And that's not healthy. You want to know why that's not healthy? Because that's not beneficial to some young lady or some young man that could be, your child's potential suitor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to make up for your fuck ups, especially when the child is so adamant in that. You know what I mean? It's open. It's different to the child's like, I have these issues, and I know my mother's like this and stuff like that. But it was like, well, no, this is how my mother did it, so I'm gonna do that. No. Well, you do that over there where you do that. Now I'm gonna do what I'm doing over here. I'm sure. Let me tell you this. You can't go wrong. Yeah, she's gonna bitch and she's gonna moan. She's gonna be upset. She's not gonna want to. She's gonna lay in the bed. Yeah. But you know what? It's in 2 years she gonna have it. In 2 years she gonna have it. Because like I said, the thing is, you doing it too. I mean, you don't live in a house, and I'm the only one making messes. That's not how it goes. Because like I said, you're closer to older than you are to younger, and then you get out into the street. Say she go to college, and she in dorm rooms a mess because she never had to clean up at home. Then students is gonna hate her. You know what I mean? She gets roommates or whatever because that's just the life people want to live. Whatever the case, if people don't clean up after themselves, maybe she's with roommates that don't clean it. Now she's living in filth and squalor, calling you for extermination. Now you got to come out of pocket after you done came out of pocket when you could have nipped it in the bud in the beginning. Everything starts in the house. Every single thing starts in the house. And the sooner you learn it here, the more equipped you are to handle it out there, and the better you are to handle it. That's just the facts. I don't got no kids, but I was raised around kids. I'm actually very good with kids. The kids love me. But I don't want to say I'm strict, but I'm stern. I mean, I'm this with the kids. Clean up your shit. Because I'm very much so, if y'all do what y'all need to do, I don't give a fuck what happens. That's me. That's London style to parenting. If y'all do what y'all need to do, I don't care how loud. Well, don't get too loud if I'm watching my program or whatever. But if y'all do what y'all need to do, run amok, carry on. Especially if y'all gonna clean up after yourselves. Grab the snacks. Don't eat up all the shit because I'm not going to buy nothing else. That sort of thing. I don't care what y'all do. If y'all gonna clean up after yourselves, you're not gonna be trying to cuss nobody out, and you're not gonna be out here making a fool of me. Have at it, because that's a child experience. You know what I'm saying? You play, you learn, you do. Okay, you got it. But you play, you learn, you do with the basic life skills. Now you're a functioning human being in society. You'll easily find a lover, because somebody's always looking for the basics. Every time I get on here, I'm shaking. I don't know if it's because I'm nervous, but very much. You know what I mean? You get you a job, you get and that's the thing too. Now when you get to identifying the kids, and this is like my personal thing. Like I'm different from my other siblings, and that's why we're all different from each other. And that's when you get to identify your kids. You get multiple kids. You can't raise them all the same. Somebody needs this sort of attention. Somebody needs this sort of attention. Somebody needs this sort of attention. Which I kind of noticed, and I talked about Giselle's fashion, but I think Giselle is a great mother. I think she pays a lot of attention, and that's maybe why she probably don't care about her clothes, because she's like, listen, my kid's gonna be good. I don't care about these bitches. I'm beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Since even before the show, obviously, because I don't think she started dressing bad because of the show. But she was like, my kids is gonna be good. They look good. And I don't, I'm fine because I don't care about these girls. I show up. I got this. I do this all the time. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't have no shirt on, but the fan is on either way. But I show up. I'm myself, and I am accepted who I show up as, Giselle. But her kids, good. She raises all those kids differently, and I picked that up. And the fact that she was crying about, and she was very stoic, which I identify with. But I picked it up when she was being emotional about empty nesting. But when her daughters came in when she was getting ready for the party and she wore that terrible jumpsuit, her first daughter came in, and I immediately noticed the makeup, but that's the daughter that's got a little pep in her step, a little, you know what I'm saying, a little spice. She said, oh, don't you look pretty? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have to tell you, you look pretty. But that other daughter came in, had a light dusting on too, but she was always a little bit more reserved. And Giselle said to her, oh, don't you look super pretty? She didn't shade the one. She encouraged the other. Understand? Sandra McKinney, welcome. And that's what it is. I mean, and that comes from, self-esteem to talents, to fears. You have to understand who you're working with. You know what I mean? That's good. I mean, parenting is management. And I think any parent should be a good manager because you're managing personalities, spirits, emotions. You know what I mean? You would think. Because the principles and principles apply. But I love that she did that. I thought about that too. my first thought was, oh, well, I wonder how that first daughter feels because she told the second daughter that she's so pretty. But as I thought about it, she knew exactly what she was doing. Be Sunshine, welcome. Miss Nani, welcome. And that is one thing about Giselle, and I think that's one thing. I mean, Karen has probably said that even amidst they shit. Karen is like, Giselle is a great mom, and I see that. I see that. She don't style no house. She don't style herself, but I'm sure those girls' rooms is nice. You know what I'm saying? And she probably put Jamal's money and her money, but she probably put Jamal's money to good use for those girls. I say that to say what I said about her telling that girl, oh, don't you look so pretty? And I mean, she didn't look, they twins, she didn't look no different than the other daughter, but obviously she doesn't show up in a room the same way. And I have to address my daughter that way. You know? I thought it was beautiful. So there's that. But yes. I got advice for days. You want to know why too? Because I'm a middle child. And I'm different. Love them. You love them. You got to love them because you love them because they're you. And you have to love you to love your children properly. And I think that's the thing with Giselle too. Giselle don't care. She ain't worried about, oh, let me, throw on some designer things like, let's say Toya. Let's say if her and Eugene don't got the Toya, parenting is going to suffer because she's not in a place where she feels comfortable. Does that make sense? Is that cruel? What y'all think? As where Giselle is like, oh, we good, because as long as I got my girls, you know what I mean? That's Giselle. That's been Giselle since day one. And when them kids, when the girls go, she's not going to be able to function properly. You know what I mean? So that's that. She'll suffer personally because she'll suffer socially because her personal life has changed. Like when she said the scheduling of having these girls for all these years. I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, I absolutely understand that. I can't believe I'm on my lowest setting. I absolutely understand that. But like Toya would be a mess. She would want them boys running. She could sit down somewhere, and they just y'all living outside. Where are they gonna sit down, Toya? So, but you mad because you don't have no damn Balenciaga earmuffs or whatever. Hey, Henry Smith. What was that show? I seen something. They said like Balenciaga would send somebody Louis Vuitton clothes so they wouldn't wear Balenciaga clothes. This was a couple years ago, that kind of story thing. Because it seemed like they all wearing shit. And that's what I like about Kanye West, is that he ain't worried about no goddamn labels. Granted, he did have that Balenciaga mouthpiece in, but Kanye ain't about no goddamn labels. Meanwhile, Meek Mill be Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all of them do. Him or Jay-Z don't wear many labels. Or Puffy don't wear the labels. You know what I mean? So it's act like new money. Yeah. And always will, yeah. Because, because Jamal checks ain't going to never stop. And she put these, a housewife's check, she didn't do that. She didn't do too much to that house. And obviously she don't do too much in that house. So she ain't spending out, and she ain't buying the clothes. Wigs, I'm sure, is recycled, washed. I'm sure Cal washed them up real nice, set them real good. But don't pluck them to save anybody's life. But she's doing what she needs to do, to keep it comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure those girls go to any school of their choice, drive any car that they want to drive, even though the one can't drive for nothing. That sort of thing. Her priorities is in order where it matters. Granted, we want her to be presentable on television. But like I said, when you think about who she is as a parent, I mean, that overshadows how she may dress. Even though that first wig in that first interview, I said, God damn it, Giselle. I said, don't nobody got no tweezers? Karen ain't offered you a wig, because I'm sure Karen got a room full of wigs. Karen ain't offered you but that's what I said about her being light skin proud. Because I'm sure somebody said, especially Robin, So if that's your friend should tell you. But they told her all at the last reunion. So she's very aware. Was there a change? Absolutely none. Not a one. In fact, K. Charleston, K.R. Charleston, what's up? Hello. Welcome. In fact, if Giselle looked the same. Episode 1, season 1, episode 1, as she do season 7, episode 1. It's the same thing. Meanwhile, Karen is leaps and bounds, and I'd be looking at pictures of Nene, and I'd be like, do Nene even recognize herself when she look in the mirror? And I'm not saying that she need to do all of that. Very much so, because like the rest of the girls, very gradual, very presentable. You know, like Robin. Robin do a little, she spice it up a little over here, spice it up a little over there. Now, granted, this curly mess she got coming up in a couple episodes, that's not a hit. But she don't mind taking the risk. Even when she wore the green, the snake, I didn't mind that. It's a reunion, doing something funky fresh, dressed to impress. I got green eyes. I'm light skinned. I can get away with most things. She likes to have fun. I don't mind that. Well, I don't, the thing with, because it's not like Giselle looks terrible. She just don't look great. So she looked in the mirror and she said, you know what, I look good. And that's all right, because she do. And you know what I mean? She could leave the house. If she dressed for the occasion, possibly not. No. Oh, because I hate when the TV goes off by itself, because it takes forever, like it just did. It takes forever to turn back on. I don't know what that is. It's a Skyworth. It's cheap. But yeah, that's what Giselle. And she comes to cozy, okay, and that's all right. Not from me and my housewives' experiences, but that's what worked for her. Mia Selby, welcome. Hello, welcome. Let me tell you guys, I'm almost at my goal for 40,000 followers, and I just could not be more. The joy I have inside to have reached this goal. I'm gonna put together a little video. Like I said, I had it up on my refrigerator. It's been up there since I wrote that thing, which is probably from like March, when I went viral with the Beyonce video. I said maybe I can make 40 by the end of the year. And thanks to you, lovely Lux lads and ladies, I'm on my way. I'm almost there. Almost there. Beneath those girl, hello, welcome to the family. If you like the content, if you like me, support the page, please. It goes a long way. It's the gumption I need sometimes. So okay, let me put this video out. Also, drop down in the comments if you have any suggestions for anybody you want me to deep dive in on again. Thank you so much, my sunfire. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But yeah, so that's that with that. Giselle again and the kids and when you look at like the celebrities, like we talk about, they don't the Chloe's and her relationship things, and Tori, I like to think I do. But not I like to think I do. I should say thank you, because I do put a lot of energy into researching. I try to be as accurate as possible. I don't call up Chrissy. Chrissy did not call me. I don't know Alpo's mother. I don't know anybody firsthand. I just look at what I see and compare it to what else is out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just reporting from one source. I like best 2 out of 3 sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? 3 out of 5. You know what I mean? That's my ratio to make sure my information is as accurate. I will say this: of all the things that I looked up, it would have to have been my knowledge of the rap game to understand the Max B thing. But I'm not a lyricist, okay? And I'm not somebody like, oh, that rap lyric I can't reference that. So if it's not written down in an article somewhere, I'm not going to recall it. And of all the things I've seen, at no point did anybody say one thing about a Max B, and that seems to be a big thing. So maybe I'll do something with that. But I did not see it, and I have been looking up Chrissy for a couple days. That's some things aren't going to make, because things. the things that you see, half of what you see, none of what you hear. Good things you can see and hear me. um, the things that you see in media, the things that you read in a book, that's the information that is supposed to be out there for you. You know what I mean? Um, and that's just that. And even if it is, like when I did the video on Jay-Z and his kids, people are just like, "Oh, you're lying." He didn't. This information is corroborated by people like his son down at Trinidad and Tobago, corroborated by people down in Trinidad and Tobago. His son, Ramir, up here, and I think he's in New York or something like that, corroborated by the Can, I want to tell a story. I just don't know when. I have to do it in the video. I don't know how I'm gonna do it about the gunman. And it's just I don't know. I want to tell that story, and I hope you get a kick out of it because I'm gonna put you in there too. I want to do a little I want to do a little skit, but yes, I want to tell that story. I don't know when, but I will. But yes, research and information it's corroborated by people, and I don't wake up one day, like I said, I had no idea all the people was gonna see that Chrissy video or even respond to it the way that they did. Much like the Beyonce video when I said she had a wig worth $145,000. I just feel like, I do feel like everybody, I always feel like people know everything I know. I don't feel like I know anything too exclusive because like I said, I don't got no firsthand knowledge and nobody called me on the line, right? But at the same, why I started TikTok is because, the people get on here and want to tell you how to clean your sinks, or make a dish, and it's like, well, I could do that same thing. Cleaning sinks, I do everything. Cleaning sinks, making dishes. But I said, well, let me just go on with the details. And I was a progression to the Beyonce. And I said, well, now we talk. Well, girl, the young lady asked me, she said, well, what about, where did she get her hair from? Okay, this is what I know about Beyonce and her hair. Huge. Chrissy. Oh, well, I said, people, I've always known about Chrissy, what I'm saying, her history when it comes to the kingpins and things like that. I've known about that. In comparison to Marjorie Harvey, who is like her in the sense that I've only messed with kingpins and now, well, she's a little better because she ended up with the man with the money. But who knows what her and Jimmy got going on? Or what she's fine with, because her and Jimmy have a genuine relationship. And that's what I think a lot of people have missed in the comments is that or even in the video, is that over 18 years, they have remained a pretty solid relationship. And as I said, from the outside looking in, we don't look like there's anything to show for it, but she happy. Because if she wasn't happy with Jimmy, she wouldn't stay with Jimmy. Right? But, yeah, I didn't wake up one day and was like, okay, I'm a drag Chrissy. No, I'm just like, well, let the people know. Well, mainly, like I said, when I said the people in the Marjorie Harvey video, I said these people need to write books. And I said, the one girl was like, well, why in the world do Chrissy need to write a book? I instantly said she's Generation Gen Z. She don't know. Let her know. And that's how I did it. Did I think I would have you guys before me now because of that Chrissy video? Absolutely not. Yet here we are, and I'm thankful for it. Did I benefit from it? Yes, that's business. And TikTok is a hustling game, okay? I gotta put out videos. I'll be like, I'll just put it out in the morning. Listen, I go on TikTok and the video will be right there. I said, okay, now there's no sleeping. There's no sleeping. So I will say the videos that I have put out that are hitting the main stages, like the Beyonce and the Chris video, don't nobody do those. But like I said, I'm unique. Zandra Shunta, welcome. Let me go look at the videos. Please go. Please do. Did you know Beyonce can't read? Yeah, honey, I learned that long ago. Well, she only went to she didn't go to high school. She went to that prom. I don't think it was her prom. She has a limit. Yeah, she didn't finish high school. She didn't graduate. She got her GED after she had Blue. Like a year after having Blue, she went back and got her GED. That's when the Isabel Marant sneakers became a big thing. Chrissy's super loyal, right? Miss Ellie Bad, welcome. Can you do Lala Anthony? Yeah, I actually will. I have her pictures in a I have her pictures in a folder, and I just have to get everything together. No, because you know we love Beyonce because she's the artist that we need, right? But she's like Kelly said when she sat down with Angie Martinez, she's so super focused that I don't think not when it comes to her now being so focused and not needing to be in a position like early, let's say early on in the game, it's like, okay, I need to go on these interviews because I need people to know who I am. People know exactly who the fuck Beyonce is now. She don't need to answer your questions. She doesn't need to go conventional routes to advertise or promote things. So she's the artist that people need, and she also is kind of a trailblazer in the way that artists move. World stop, carry on. Artists, people weren't dropping albums on Friday like that because Friday was the day you needed your album in by to be, qualified for something. Beyonce shifted all of that stuff. What's up, Nataj? Um, Beyonce shifted all those things, so she's a pillar of the community, a major factor in the way that decisions are made and artists move today. Well, people like Chrissy because she always people respect people who hold their own. Period. And Chrissy has always held her own. And if you defend your man, people like that. If you could fight, girls respect that. You know what I'm saying? And Chrissy she embodies a lot of the different things that people resonate with. And that's why Mona said, "Girl, we got to get you on the show. Now you're gonna do something silly like propose to Jimmy." And she said, "Oh Lord," but you know what? That's the thing about her. Like, if she didn't like Jimmy, if she didn't want to be with that man, she wouldn't have. Because she knew she was gonna embarrass herself on television like that. She knew Jimmy was gonna say no. You think she woke up that day? Do you think Chrissy woke up that day and was like, you know what? I'm gonna propose to Jim. I'm gonna propose to Jimmy, and I don't know what he gonna do. Being in the game that she been in, Heyday screaming Word Smith, what's up? You think she did that? She be like, well, didn't she propose to him? Don't you watch damn didn't Peter propose to damn Cynthia and bleed her dry? Didn't Cynthia damn near propose to Hill, and look at him now. So what does it matter? That's what I mean about she didn't care about the sanctity of marriage. If she wanted to do that, then she would have been hell bent crying. She wouldn't be the strong woman that people respond to her. She would be a worse off victim because they played her a lot like the victim, and that's how she came off as aggressive. But if she was a true victim, waiting on bated breath for Jimmy to man up and make her an honest woman, please. Karen, hello, honey. No, wouldn't nobody have responded to that, especially with what was going on with Emily and Olivia, Yandy. It really set the stage. It set the stage for every franchise after New York. Them first 2, 3 seasons of Love and Hip Hop was probably the best of reality TV. Especially, I mean, it had everything, and then that fight, still pretty, iconic. You know what I mean? Now you talk about somebody's a victim waiting to be thank you, it's the filter. Somebody's a victim waiting to be made a whole woman. That's still pretty. I think he'll just either way they used each other. Because Cynthia, I would hate to think Cynthia been in the game as long as she's been in the game, and she's still in position to be used by somebody who knows who's trying to climb a ladder. I don't think, especially after being with Peter. Peter's, a businessman, so I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't have nothing for that. I don't have a sorry. I don't have a woe, or a care for that. Because that was a game they played in our face. Cynthia continues to play in our faces when it comes to these marriages. And if Cynthia got the hands and she want to be with a woman and do it, go on and do it and be done with it. I'm not like Niecy Nash. I don't know, because I'll still be shocked by Niecy Nash, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I didn't do all that for Chrissy. I mean, I didn't do all that for, yeah, I didn't do all that for Chrissy to drag her and things like that. I felt like I kind of played her. Like I said, I told her to loved her with Peter because Peter. It was the balance. It was Peter provided something. If did nobody ever say Peter took money from her, people wouldn't look sideways at it. They were a handsome couple. Peter was absolutely handling that ass. Okay, and it made sense. Bad gal Toya, hey. Cynthia too old to be looking in the wrong places, especially like I said, if I seen it over the airwaves, child, I know you saw it um, at Bar One. I know you did. And I'm talking about Hill, wherever she would have met him at in Atlanta. I know you did. I know somebody told you. And that's the thing too. Candy know all these. Everybody date Candy know. And Candy tell him. Told him about Peter. Told her about thank you guys for the shares. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you for the support of the channel. Peter, what's his name? Grant Hill. What's his name? Hill, whatever his name is. Hill. And still you steady on down the road. Oh, I'm gonna just give this 2 years. The thing is, like, I don't care what you do with your life, but we get on these shows, and this is the price we pay for indulging. You play with my time, okay? You knew you wasn't about to be married to this man long. You knew this was an arrangement, a convenient arrangement. Somebody's looking at Hill now because he's married to a supermodel, and because you're out in LA, you can be close to your daughter, and you can be in these shows. You know what I'm saying? When you could y'all could have just been dating the whole time. What the hell is wrong with dating? What the hell is wrong with that? My parents was dating. My parents dated. They didn't get married till they had 3 kids. Okay? And everything is pretty much the same, but I mean, after that point, sure. I don't know how old I was. 12. No. 14. I was 14. My sister was 19. My parents had been together over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Very a la Chrissy and Jimmy. Probably got married because like, well, shit, we got 3 kids, we might as well, where you going, what you doing? That's the mindset. But even if they were still dating, then that's the thing about the matter of public opinion. It's like, okay, no, you don't want to introduce somebody as your boyfriend or your partner or whatever. And they say, that's not husband, it's not wife. And that sounds good to other people. But who cares about other people? Yeah, I mean, I'm not screwing my friends who think I should be married. Like, girl, nigga. She was so thirsty for, yeah, well, I mean, yeah. CC Love, hello. Candace didn't stay long, she didn't see. I am going to tell y'all one day how I almost got shot in the bar. I'm not going to tell y'all today. I've been there. I'm trying to find the right. I was going to tell it while I ate the hot wings. I just thought I'm going to do it next time. Like, attention because first. No, I'm not going to tell it. Not today. Not today. I need to be in a market for that. I need to have been able to monetize that video, the content. I'm telling y'all for free. Sorry. Sorry, it's the game. Yeah, like I don't have anything. I don't have those sympathies or sorries for Cynthia. I have not a one, not a piece, not an ounce or iota. Okay, because she knows Cynthia's a woman of a particular age, modeling and shaking and dipping and doing. She was with Leon, and Leon got the hands. So you already know what to look for in the mans. You know what you're looking for, and I'm sure as Leon, with the great relationship that you have, he is insightful to you with the men that you should be dating. But like I've been saying, like I said about Chloe, like I said about Nee, like I said about Shawnee too, there's a man in West Dakota, West Dakota, and East Carolina, anywhere that will just give you exactly what you're looking for. I absolutely don't. I absolutely don't want to see her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But there's somebody out there who will give you exactly what you're looking for. But you have to stay in the media. You know what I'm saying? So now we're radaring in on things that that would look best. When somebody over in South Dakota will resonate better with you, just like when Chris Humphrey said, "Well, can we get married? I'm trying to move to fucking Colorado or wherever he's from the Midwest." She was like, "I can't be in the middle of the country. I have to, it's that that sort of thing." And who the hell is Chris? Chris Humphrey's divorced, and we ain't never seen Chris again. Let me see what Chris is up to, real quick. Did we even come up? Nope, Chris Jenner. Oh, there we go. There we go. Former professional basketball player. Only spouse he had was Kim. He's 37. What does he do for a living? They said basketball, but that was former. See, when you look up Chris Humphries, all they want to do is talk about Kim. Poor Chris. Poor Chris. Shout out to Chris. So there's that. What y'all saying? Oh, don't want to see her on the show, yeah. And Leon, yeah. I don't see Chris being married. Googler didn't say he was married. He was definitely hurt. I think he was shell shocked, and I think he might just be sitting in corners like, "What the fuck happened to me for 3 years of my life?" So that's that. But that's the thing. When he was just trying to be, keep it cute, he thought he had something serious. Kim obviously is a great actress in the romance department. She just channeled that energy from Reggie Bush, and then the comparison is Reggie Bush's ass, who got a doppelganger, and not even a doppelganger. He got her damn twin because the kids look just like Chris's. They look just like North and Saint. Reggie Bush's kids. So that's the game, that's the industry, and I get that as somebody, me being me. Everybody else doesn't get that, but I don't got it for Cynthia. I don't have it for Cynthia. So, you barely have it for Cent to begin with. So don't be. That's when Chris is a great teacher. I barely had it for Cynthia to begin with. So now I don't need you playing, because after you Kim. They all. The feminine energy is about the feminine connection. So that whole matriarchal power, that's very much so. I'm sure Chris, and that's how the bond they had. Chris was probably very intimate with them. Shall I continue? Probably very intimate with them growing up. And then became their friend. So now they have this type of bond, you know what I mean? And then she's going to put this money in your pocket, and it's like, well, if you just do this, then you'll be like this. And when you have your kids, they'll be, you know what I'm saying? And that's this whole indoctrination. And that's why Courtney and Kendall probably are a bit more reserved in their role, because Courtney knows the tea, the vibe, you know what I'm saying? And Kendall is a little bit resistant to the vibe because she's that second tier top child, you know what I'm saying? And her influences or whatever the case may be, but even still, that's her mother. And Chris probably plays Kendall very lightly, like I don't need her, because Kendall, I always felt like Kendall would be the one to blow the top, because once Kendall come out with the hands, it's a wrap. Well, definitely, they're definitely witches, 100%. And that goes. My thing is Chris, because the Armenians, the Kardashians over in Armenia, long-standing, huge witchery and all that stuff. I mean, that's been proven. I don't have a video on it, but I could, but that's been proven. How Chris was able to work her way into that, or not even so much. You know, that's just the placement of it. You know what I'm saying? You think like the CIA. You know, people have jobs to be these things. You know, and I don't. You know, a lot of people don't think like that. Some people may think that's crazy, but people. I mean, if you watch a CIA movie, you plan it there to wait 4 years or 5 or however long for this person to do this thing, and you'll be right there when they do it. I mean, that's just that. For Chris to go on and for Chris to just say her story was because Chrissy don't even have a story like this, and she done lived the life, she done put into work. To say Chris was an airline stewardess and she met these people, she went from a stewardess, a flight attendant. It's the same thing, right? To go from a stewardess to the most successful businesswoman in history, and to build such one of the most iconic family brands in history, besides like let's say the Hiltons, the Rockefellers. You know what I'm saying? She's up there with the Rockefellers. She's very on par with the damn Hiltons. So